Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Tuesday morning. We're having a surprise morning live stream because I did not have my meeting that I had today. It was canceled because of the snowy, cold weather. My kids' school was also canceled, so I got more kids at home here today as well. But with that being said, it's going to be a great day. If you're here for the first time, my name is Tyler. I'm excited for you to join us this morning. I'm going to be helping navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. I'm going to be sharing with you all the trades that I've taken, along with detailed explanation of what I was thinking, why, and all that good stuff. If you're joining after the fact, you can jump to the key moments in the chapter markers below of all the trades that I've taken with the explanation of what I was thinking. Lastly, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level and you're thinking of trading with other people's money, funded accounts, or eval accounts, you can use the code DTJ and you can get up to, right now it's 80% off your next eval account, which for a 25K account, that is $29. And for a 50K account, that is $33, where you can get 80% off. You can use the code DTJ. I'll drop that in the chat. And with that, let's go ahead, open in prayer, and let's rock and roll. Father, we thank you for another day. Thank you for the opportunity we have as traders. Lord, I pray for everybody on the other side of this screen, Father, that they would see increase, that they would have blessing over their lives, over their families, over their relationships. Father, I just declare blessing over them and over this time together in Jesus' name. Amen. With that, folks, let's go ahead and let's jump out to the daily time frame. I'm just sitting down, so we're going to start and take a look and see what we got going on. We have our previous week high. Are we looking at the daily here? That doesn't seem right. Let's look at the weekly. That is right. And we are pumping towards those all-time highs, folks. We ran those levels that I thought we were going to be running earlier that day, yesterday. Now, we ended up running them. We ran the equal highs, as you can tell. So let's look at a lower time frame, the 4-hour, and see what we got going on. Did we reach low enough? We went down to the low of day, but that's pretty much all that we did, and then we pushed back up higher. We got a 4-hour swing high right here that we haven't tagged yet. Let's drop down to the hour. Good morning, Ted, Tony, T. Good morning. Good morning. Might get that daily inversion after today. Are you talking about the one way, the one? I'm assuming you're talking about this one way down here. It might be good. I think that's a possibility. We'll see. We'll see. We ran the London highs. So London highs over here from this weekend are done with, and we probably have a new London high sitting right here right now that we haven't tagged yet, but man, we're pretty close to it. Let's see, London high. What do we got for a London low? Do we got a London low? We'll drop down to the 15-minute for that, and we'll see if we got anything. All right, so here's our London high, 3 a.m., and this is 12:45, so no, we have a 5 a.m. So we do have a London low as well. Let's mark that London low. And we're probably going to have an Asia low as well. I'm going to call this our Asia low. Asia low sitting right here. Asia high has been ran. We got a new day opening gap from 12:45 to 6 right here. New day opening gap high, and then we also have our new day opening gap low sitting right there. I don't look at all those overlapping things. I'll tell you what. So we got the new week opening gap sitting here and here. We got a new day opening gap here and here. And then we have our previous week high sitting right there as well. We can remove our previous day low. I have no idea what that line is. So we'll get rid of it. Get rid of that. Came pretty close to the London high sitting there. And then let's find out where the close of day was of our trading. Regular trading hours is from Friday. So Friday is going to still be our opening range gap sitting here. I'm going to shrink that up a little bit. Just to make it a little more digestible. We got 9 minutes till market opens. Okay, I think we marked everything out. One more. We got midnight open. Where's midnight? Midnight. Oh, look at how midnight's been tagged a few times. Look at that. Interesting. All right, so we find midnight is a big support right now. So I really do like this right here. Boom. I really like that. It's inconsequential if we run the London high or not. I think I would prefer it, but I doubt. I mean, if we are going to run for all-time highs, where are all-time highs? All-time highs. We may save the London high for later. Do you know what I mean? If we're going to run towards London high or towards all-time highs, this may not be ran right at open unless we're just going to pump. Alright, let me make sure my screen is the right size here. See if we can get our micro screen as well. There we go. Alright, I think we are all set, folks. We are ready to rock. Ted might get a daily inversion. Wilhelm, good morning. December 18th candle. Respect and love from India. Parma. Param, good morning. Ted, we need to see a move back to the new day opening gap is what I would like to see after hitting London high. Bodies closed in the wick, so could be enough for liquidity grab. Yep. I would like to see what happens here over the next 5 minutes. See if we push any lower. I would like to take the 930 model. I mean, it's set up for it currently, especially if this is a breaker right here. That would be nice. We'll see if it starts displacing lower. If we get displacement lower, I'm going to probably look at participating in the 930 model. Daryl, good morning. 5-minute change in state of delivery. Oh, there's our flash of a candle. We called that, didn't we? Well, I didn't technically call it. I called the breaker. And then we got the flash lower. That's 35 handles to London low from where we're sitting. We got relatively equal lows here. I mean, this looks nice, folks. That looks nice. All right, so we got this right here, this down close candle right here. If it wasn't exactly at 9:30, I would be interested in going short right now. But we'll wait till 9:30. Give me a second, folks. Here, I grabbed the box to make sure he didn't grab it. Chill out. Make sure Benjamin doesn't get double either. Oh my goodness, am I missing this whole thing? Holy moly. Yep. I hope you're in that, Ted, because that's I need to get better at that. If I see this model right here, I need to participate in it. It was there. London lows grabbed. We got Asia low down here. I can't participate in the 930 model now. I mean, maybe I could, but we got Asia low down here. And we have our new day opening gaps and the new week opening gap sitting here. I'm not going to. I'm going to pass on the 930 for this morning. I mean, we still could go, but it could flash higher easily because we already grabbed London low liquidity. Well, let's see what happens. It ended up going nowhere. So nowhere for that. Now it's pushing lower. The entry was way up here back at 924, right at the breaker where I called that. It's a nice setup. Just I have a hard time taking trades right before 9:30. But I need to change that. If I see the model, the other thing, you know what? I don't regret not taking that. What did we not do? We did not hit the London high. So I don't regret not taking that. I take everything that I said, all my complaining, I throw it out the window right now. Forget that crap. We didn't run the London high. We didn't run the London high. So we didn't grab liquidity. This wasn't an A+ setup. Yeah, I'll take a B+ setup, but this was a B+. It wasn't an A+. So I'm not going to take it before market open. Yes, it looks beautiful and it's easy to get regret here, but no, we're not going to do that because it didn't meet all my criteria that I wanted. If we did hit London high like that and then we did all of this, I want to be able to say that I would have taken that. I'm not sure if I would have, but I want to be able to say that I did. You know, it makes me feel better. Either way, we're selling off quite nicely here. So I'm going to have a couple screens that we're going to be switching between. Okay, Asia low has been grabbed. I want to see if what we're going to do here, if we're just going to basically bounce off and start moving higher. But we don't have a fair value gap yet either. Keep that in mind. Sell side rate according to ICT. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And the fact that we left that, so I'm just kind of looking for my opportunity to go long, see where that would be. And if we just pump back up, that's crazy. We'll see how we react right here. We might have to participate in institutional order flow entry drill. I don't want to just take a V, and we may get that. I would love to see us a failure swing lower and then move higher. That would be nice. Even if we don't get a failure swing, if we grab liquidity and then run higher, that's fine with me too. I would love to see an inversion somewhere like right there as well. That would be nice. Where's 830? 830 is right here. We had pretty much nothing there. 5 minutes. 5 minute candle is going to be right here. So we can mark out a 5 minute change in state of delivery right here if you want, Ted. That might work. 15 minute we still have potential more downside. We'll see if it wants to do that or not. We have a 30-second fair value gap sitting right here. No, we're going to wait. Ted, 5-minute breaker, bullish or bearish? I'm not looking at any. Are you looking at a bearish breaker? I'm not. I don't think I'm interested in going to the downside. London, yeah, it did grab the London low for a breaker, but I'm interested in targeting the London high with all-time highs. I'm not going against all-time highs. I don't think I marked out yesterday's high and low. Previous week high is there. Previous day low is here. So we got a ways. We could get that sweep lower. We do have unfilled. The opening range gap is still unfilled there. I'll call this a failure swing. What do we have a do we have an SMT on NQ? We do have an SMT on NQ. So ES made a lower low, NQ did not make a lower low. We'll see if it wants to see if we get displacement higher. So far, so good as far as the plan. Running the lows. We have SMT on NQ. NQ is right here. So we have a lower low. And then ES, we have a higher, or on NQ, we have a higher low. So we have that SMT. We've ran the near side liquidity all right here. We could see price run lower to the new week opening gap low. We'll see if it wants to do that or not. I'm getting phone calls like every 5 minutes. It's quite annoying. If we get a major sell-off today, I'll be annoyed. I will. Because I don't want it to sell off right now. I want it to run for the London high. This is exactly what I wanted to happen yesterday. And we didn't get it yesterday. We have a much better shot of getting it today. That would be a 56 handle move if we get 50 plus handle move potentially. I'll take a 50 handle move. Have we got a single fair value gap? Have we got a, is that a fair value gap? No, we haven't. No fair value gaps since the open, folks. What a loser of an open. Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you guys are appreciating the commentary. Exercising patience here this morning isn't the most exciting thing. Taking the trades, going long, going short. But we gotta wait. This is my second day on your commentary is on point. Hey, thank you, Rico. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I learned from the best. I learned from the best. So, one thing ICT has talked about in the past is that when you look at opening range gaps, he prefers them not to be completely filled if we're going to move higher. So if that is the case, I'm not saying it's impossible to run this and move higher, but it would almost be better if it doesn't get filled, I think. But I mean, I'm not opposed for it to run here, fill the new day opening gap, and then run higher. That's still a possibility. I still would take a trade. But if it doesn't fill, that would be, well, there it fills. So let's see what happens. What else is ICT saying, guys? I'm curious. Is he saying it's going to fall down to the bottom? Does he think it's going to run to the high? Because I really want it to run up here. So at this point, we have our low, high, lower, low. Our change in state of delivery is right here, potentially. And then we could take a long off of that. That's the current setup we have right now. And we do have our first presented fair value gap right here. Do we have a volume imbalance there? We do. So this is our first presented fair value gap. And we are fallen. Well, I'll tell you, Ted, your breaker just printed. If you went short at that breaker, there's 60 points. Do you take that? All right, so we are at 8:45, 9:45. Let's jump to the 15-minute and let's see what we got. We got this 15-minute way down here. And we're selling. We just swept this low right here. Mark that out. That was our 9:30 low of day. Let's go to regular trading hours, see what we got. Regular trading hours. We have the 15-minute. That's pretty much it. Man, that really sucks, this right here. Boom. Wait, was I on? No. We have a presented. We have a fair value gap right here. All right, so we have our fair value gap. Let's see what price wants to do. It's a little disappointing when you see price action like this. The same way I felt right here, but there was no entry. I mean, honestly, even this, guys, where's our entry besides if you were to take this breaker right here, right? I mean, you could have took that breaker at the London low. I'm probably not going to take it. I didn't take it because I really wanted, I was really looking for higher prices. So if my plan doesn't play out, I don't take a trade. This was contrary to my plan for it to do this. So I missed the opportunity. As you guys get better at reading price action, you'll then become better at getting the direction correctly, and then you'll be able to take trades, right? My trade idea didn't play out right now, so I didn't take a trade. The last thing I want to do is FOMO into, this move lower, thinking that, oh yeah, we're going to still drop right here, and then it does a fake out and pumps. Regretting selling 930, but rules 20 handles TP. I mean, you got to. You have to. You have to. That's the rules of it. I've thought about that multiple times, and every time I go back, I'm like, rules are rules. I know that this works, so I'm not going to break the rules. Now you can come up with a different model. Tala, you can come up with a different model if you want. That's totally doable. You know, maybe the model is if you see a breaker taking place, 10 minutes before the market open and you see it sell off and you see a target down low, maybe you participate right at 9:30 expecting a continuation because we have a market maker sell model. That's a possibility. There's so many different ways you can create models, and I think 9:30 is definitely an area you can capitalize on. Friday 12:30 candle visit for support. Where is that at? Friday. I like the 15-minute fair value gap for support. I think that's a possibility. We have a 4-hour that hasn't been tagged yet either. This 4-hour right here. So if you jump to the 4-hour time frame, you'll see this fair value gap that we haven't tagged. And we still have 10 a.m. coming up. So we're in the 10 a.m. macro right now. We'll see what price wants to do here. See, now my question is going to be this. Knowing that we're so close to this 4-hour and 15 minutes, do I want to try to take a long here? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I mean, that's something that's... Here's a 5-minute. And we have liquidity right down there. I don't think I want to go long until I see these imbalances tagged. I think it would be wiser to wait. We got a 2-minute right here. Maybe if we get above this 2-minute fair value gap right here. Of the daily BPR, the daily. I'm not sure I know exactly what you're referring to. I see this right here on the 1 hour. This BPR right here. I like that. I'll participate if we break above the 2-minute. What is a 5-minute? We still have a 5-minute change in state of delivery that's way up here. And a bunch of just down close candles. It'd be really easy to see price come back either into any of these fair value gaps sitting right here. And this would be your breaker. This would be your breaker long. I want to see if we can come back down to here and find support around this area. I'll look at a long, but I'm probably not going to just take it right off of this V, right off of V. The only option for me to take a long if we do get a V would be to probably play this the close above this first fair value gap on the 1 minute. I would prefer not to do that. The trade, I mean, I know some people that probably saw this turtle soup right here and went long right on the close of this candle at 9.51. I can guarantee you somebody did that. The only thing is I wouldn't have never done that, especially since we have a 4-hour and 15-minute down here. I'm still even hesitant on wanting to take the breaker. But Ted's right. We do have a balanced price range all in here. So we don't necessarily need to come all the way down there. Design. What's up, my friend? How you doing? All right, so what I'm watching is how we react. Do we just blow right through it, or are we going to find support in it? This, to me, looks like a scary candle, meaning it wants to scare you out of a trade going long. I'm going to take a long here on my small account challenge. And I'm putting my stop loss at the low of that wick. I might have gotten in a little early. We'll see. I'll share my screen. So let's see if it holds. I should have got in lower here instead of so high. It did not close the way I wanted it to, so I think I might have been a little premature on that entry. It looks like I'm going to get stopped out here. All right, stopped out on my small account challenge. And it looks like we have an inversion on that 1 minute to the downside right here. I regret taking that. All right, so we tagged the 4 hour. We'll probably tag the 15 minute. There's the tag of the 15 minute. I said that's what I wanted to wait for, and I lost track of what I said. I really wanted this, and I said, well, if we hit this breaker, realizing what? We had this down here. Midpoint of the 4 hour fair value gap. Yep, it touched the midpoint. Let's see if we get through here. Honestly, I'm slightly irritated because I could have played this as rejection of this order block there, played an inversion to the downside to these fair value gaps. This technically is a breaker also right here, if you're interested in going short. I'm not. Now that we hit really what I wanted it to hit. Unfortunately, I can absolutely see this aggressive push lower, and then what we do is this. All right, so we're pushing up through this order block. Whoops. Good morning, Eva. How are you doing? Glad to have you this morning. Five-minute change in state of delivery. Market maker buy model. I would love that. We'll see if it does it. What's up, Viking? Yeah, it dumped. Unfortunately, it went without us. Or went without me. Pretty annoyed by my decision on taking that long. Pretty annoyed by it. You got an inversion right here to the downside. That's where we wanted to see price find support. Richard, I watched one of your pre-recorded sessions last night and what do you do? And like what you do. Thanks for sharing your skills and love your patience. That's hard part of trading. Thanks, Richard. I appreciate it. It is by far the hardest thing to master, and it's something you constantly have to exercise every day. It has to be in the forefront of your mind. For my small account challenge, it's a 1 trade per day type trade, and I took it on that trade and is disappointed. Yeah. It's right here. Key. Okay.
I just left it.
Yeah. If I look back at my decision on to take this long, technically I broke my rules by trying to take that long right there. Because one of my rules is waiting for key levels, and we stopped short of that key level here. So now that we've hit the key level, if we get a breaker that makes sense, I'm interested in participating in it. But I need to be patient and wait for it. I'm irritated that I took that trade because it basically went against my rules. I disregarded my rules for the sake of not wanting to miss a potential explosive move to my target of the London highs sitting up here. Sorry, you're going to hear some background noise. I'm cold. I like this displacement here. So we have our 5-minute down close candles here. Here's our change in state, 5-minute change in state of delivery, which also aligns with a breaker. So we're going to have a breaker sitting in this area right here. Way to go, Viking. Nice job. I'd like to see us get back through this inversion, this 2-minute fair value gap, close above it, and find support in it. So something like this is kind of what I would be looking at. It would fall in line with our breaker and our 5-minute change in state of delivery. It's something I think I would be interested in. But we were wrong once before on going long. So we just got to be careful. Be patient. I like this sweep of liquidity right here. Let's see if we get an expansion move higher. We are outside of the macro time, so we may be sitting here for another 30 minutes with very little activity. .75 OTE. Has it retraced to 0.75 OTE or the optimal trade entry? Can you explain macro time and what you use it for? My macro time is ICT. Let me make sure I'm very clear. ICT's macro time is the last 10 minutes and the first 10 minutes of every hour. The macro time that I use personally is the last 15 minutes and the first 15 minutes of every hour. That period of time is when I would prefer to take my trades in. The reason why is you have a higher probability of trades running than you have them being fake outs. You get more consolidation between the hours than you do at the top and bottom of the hours. So that's why I would prefer to wait for those key moments. Now 9:30 is a little bit different because that's the opening bell. But when we look at the 10 a.m. candle, 10 a.m. candle is right here, right? 10 a.m. candle is right here. If I'm going to take a long or a short, I want it to be somewhere around 10 minutes before or 10 minutes after that time, because that's when your ideal setups. And this is why, one of the reasons why I took that breaker long right here. It was inside my time frame, and I'm like, if it's going to run, it could run right here. It did in fact run. It just ran the other direction. Do you see what I mean? you don't get fake outs. You get moves that are more extended than shortened. And so if you go back in your charts and you look, you'll just see how price moves that way. Why is that? Because price is moved by an algorithm, and the algorithm creates macro instructions, and those instructions are given and executed during those periods of times. You can just go back and look at most of the time, many of the trades you'll find happen within that time. You'll find swing highs and swing lows like this right here will be at the top or bottom of an hour. This is 10 o'clock. Is it a surprising that this low is 10 o'clock? No, not in my mind at all. Because very, very common, you'll get those highs. Look at where the high is happening here. It's happening in the first 15 minutes of the hour. Look at this low over here. I just guessed. I'm literally pulling to it. 809. First 10, 15 minutes of the hour. Let's look at this one over here. 505. What's this one right here? What's this one right here? 4 o'clock in the morning. What's this one right here? I'm curious. 3 a.m. I mean, guys, it's constant. It's constant. It happens so freaking much. So when I see this swing low right here at 10 o'clock, either one of two things happens. Either we will continue lower and we'll make another low by 11-ish, or this may be the low and we start moving the other direction. And now it doesn't mean you can't sweep the low and then push higher, but I would prefer this not to be broken. I mean, it happens so much. So much. I wasn't even cherry picking thing. I was just going to swing highs and swing lows that look obvious to me. And I'm like, well, what time is this one? What time is this one? What time is this one? And it is. So you can, I don't know what that word is. AKTUELLE. I use macros for reversals and or continuations. Like if I had a bearish bias on that Viking, I wouldn't have gone long here. I would have taken the short there. But I was bullish, so I wanted to see it run higher. But I disregarded one of my rules, which is higher time frame key levels to be tagged. That's the second time that I've done that, and I've lost because of it. But there's trades that you just have to be, you have to take them into account, because this one didn't hit the higher time frame key level, but look at the sell-off. You see what I mean? You just gotta, you have to use common sense on when it seems appropriate. For me, when we get all this big move here and we're sitting that close and we're seeing a lot of volatility like this, I gotta wait for it to be tagged. I have to. And that was a mistake, and I shouldn't have taken a loss on my small account challenge because of that. He's saying it's bear baiting. Yeah, trying to make everybody think it's going short. I don't think we're going short. I honestly think we're going long. I mean, we're at all-time highs. I mean, look at the 4-hour. We just tagged the 4-hour fair value gap. So we did the job on rebalancing, making efficient price action. This is going to happen. Look at this 4-hour candle, how we stopped right before we ran the London high. This 4-hour candle, this is going to be, there is so much liquidity right here. It's going to be grabbed. So my job is to be patient and look for and find that long. And it might not be till noon. We might have to wait till all the way till 12 p.m. Viking, it's a setting on TradingView on the top left corner. It's called Demonstrate. If you look, you'll find it. It's the top icon on the left of the screen. You'll click it, and in the drop down, you'll see the word Demonstrate, and this is the demonstration mode. It allows me to mark up the chart and not have to delete everything. This is going to be the telling candle. If we see an aggressive candle like this but don't make the lower low, that tells me ICT is probably right. It's baiting. It could grab this low but not this low. All right, so it is making lower. Let's see if it wants to run to the previous, to the consequent encroachment of the 15-minute. Either way, I'm not losing any money in this. Besides my small account, I took a trade. I haven't taken a single trade here this morning. It's been about an hour. My delay's 15 seconds. I'm pretty sure I'm on stream settings. Yeah, I'm on ultra low. Interesting. Look at where that wicked to. I'm not saying it can't go lower, but look at that just tag of that level right there. Well, yes, hold Alt, right, and then the only thing that it prevents you from doing is shrinking and expanding screens. So usually if you hold Alt and you click a screen, it will zoom in on that screen. Well, in demonstration mode, that doesn't work. Now that we're all the way down here, my question is, do we run all the way to the previous day low? I don't know how that happens. I mean, it could. That just seems a little crazy to do. That's 100 points away. You guys like this structure right here? High, low, higher, high. Displacement lower. Breaker. Short. Here's your breaker right there. I didn't even see it because I didn't even care. It's amazing how you don't see what you're not looking for. I'm looking for longs, and all the structure I'm looking for is to support an idea of a long. Now, we also ran into a breaker here. A high, low, higher, high. Breaker, displacement, breaker, displacement. Everything's showing lower prices right now. We might be done. Juan, welcome. I appreciate it, my friend. The transition from stocks to futures, you will never regret. Never. In fact, you'll say to yourself, why didn't I switch sooner? I wish I learned about futures sooner. Man, stocks are for institutions, man. You got to have a ton of money to do that. Or you play options and then you have to deal with time decay. And I hate time decay. I hated time decay. Time decay was annoying. Because if you didn't hit the trade exactly when you need to hit it, man, your contracts got destroyed. Oh, you love theta, huh? I have a love-hate relationship with it. The hate won because I left. We decided to love each other from afar. Did we hit the low of that body? No, not quite. If you trade options just like futures, you don't have to worry about time decay. How much time decay there is in an hour trade. It changes, hang flying, depending on if you're on 0 DTE, 0 day to expiration. The time decay, the closer you get to the end of the day, is huge. So, but that's where your most volatility is. So if you get aggressive moves with lots of time decay, your return is gigantic. But if it goes nowhere, then you're screwed. You traded 3 to 4 days out? Yeah, I did. I always, when I traded options, I traded 0 DTE for max leverage. I knew nothing then. Yeah, futures are just 10 times better. You can just focus on price action, structure, market structure, liquidity, and not worry about all that other crap. We're coming up. We got about 10 minutes before the next macro. JR, no trades for you. There was only one trade for me. It was on, and it didn't last long. I think I got stopped out in like a minute. So I was completely wrong on it. So we're just sitting on our hands waiting for clarity as far as structure goes. No, that it for my retirement accounts, yeah, you can't do that, unfortunately. I think there are self-directing IRAs that allow you to, though. Hang flying. If you are, I'm pretty sure if you search for self-directing IRA account for futures, I'm pretty sure you can do it. But on a standard retirement account, I know you can't. You'd have to transfer it to a self-directing IRA. Do you place the pre-day low from Friday or yesterday? I would do both. TOC. I don't think I marked it though. Let's see. Here's Monday's low. Friday's low is right. Friday's low is way down there. Oh, when you're talking about previous day, it's Friday's low. Because if I go onto my daily chart, we don't have a Monday. There's no Monday. So I do it based on what's on the daily chart. I want to see the rest of this fair value gap stay open. If we close above this on this candle, I will take a long to these, to that high. But I would want it to happen on this candle right here. All right, TOC, see you, man. Have a blessed day. Because of Christ, I am alive. ES never made the lower low. I'm assuming it had to drop somewhat. Oh yeah, so we have and we're so close to the previous month's high. We have, look at those equal highs right here. I mean, that's just baiting. Yeah, it's, I'm interested in longs here, folks. Five-minute bearish SMT. I saw a bullish one. Ooh. 'A singing Jim Morrison. If you're thinking of me, I don't know. I'll pass on that. Ooh. We have a small volume imbalance on that last candle. Sitting right down here. See if we can wick down, fill that, and then maybe a push higher after that. There's that fill. That fills right here. There's nothing else down here. So either it's a low resistance liquidity run lower, or we've properly balanced this area and we have permission to push higher. We'll see. So now we are in the 11 a.m. macro right now. It's 10:46. ICT's macro starts in 4 minutes. Please don't sell off again. Please don't sell off again. Here's a breaker. There's a breaker right here if you're interested in downside. I'm struggling on the downside move here, folks, but it's apparently that's all it's going to do. If it makes another low and it just keeps going, we might call it a day, folks. Well, the 15-minute looks like it just wants to collapse here. That's frustrating. Being on the wrong side of the move all day. I'm not going to take it, and the main reason why is we're inside a 4-hour and 15-minute fair value gap. If I had this aha moment up here to see lower prices, I would be taking it. But now that we're inside of this, I'm not as interested. So that's why, Viking. It could go lower. I mean, honestly, if we're going to see lower prices, what I would need to see is this. I need to see a close on the 15-minute below, come back, find support, resistance on it, and then look for it to target the previous day low down here. But when you're inside of it, your probability, you're basically guessing. You're assuming that it's going to continue lower when we're already inside of an imbalance. I don't want to guess inside of an imbalance. I want to use the imbalances as my draws on liquidity. So when we're inside one, I need to see it closed, find resistance in, and a continuation lower towards the next obvious target, which would be your previous day low. Because even though it looks beautiful on the 15-minute, I could be wrong because we're inside of a 15-minute imbalance. There's your bearish breaker right there. It's a 15-minute. The purple one is an imbalance. It's a fair value gap. A fair value gap is an imbalance. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, right here, this large 15-minute fair value gap sitting right here. From that low to that high sitting right there. I would love for it to just blow through this just to solidify my point, but it still could drop. I mean, that's the truth. It could still drop, but I wouldn't want to participate in it because we're inside of a 15-minute fair value gap. I want to see, you see how we've respected the discount portion of it. Most of the price action was up in here. That's a showing of strength. I'm considering going long from this fair value gap, but the primary fair value gap is this big one right here. It's too big of a candle. I might wait for it to come back down. So it's not giving me the type of entry I wanted right here. My children are home and are being extremely loud. All right, so we have our close. I'm going to take a long towards this high. Let's see if we can get this high tagged. Move us down 78, 68, 63. Initial target is going to be this swing high right here. And I'm going to take it right out at that because I think there's going to be another opportunity to go long here in a second. I want to solidify that sweep of liquidity. Come on. We did grab liquidity in this candle right here. Targeting that fair value gap sitting right here. Let's see if it wants to push. There's that sweep. See if we get one more push here. Oh, Oh, come on. All right, we're going to close that. I'm going to wait for it to come back and hit our 5-minute change in state of delivery. I just think that we could get somewhat of a retracement here. We have our 5-minute. I want it to hit that 5-minute change in state of delivery and maybe even come a little bit lower and then push off of that. We have a breaker right here. I'm going to look for that aggressive move here and then take that long. I'm watching this candle here, seeing if we might find support as we are. Alright, we'll try this one more time. See if it's gonna push me out here. Target is going to be the previous week high. All right, it's 11 o'clock right here. I'm going to move my stop to 10 handles and keep that tight. Need to get above that fair value gap there. So I'm trying to go for an easy target here. Whoops. Trying to go for an easy target of the previous week high or the new day opening gap, which is sitting at 225. I really want to see us break above that level there. We really need to see that inversion take place and not find resistance there. These two down close candles, I'm going to move my stop to break even just to protect it in case it aggressively wants to run for this low down here. I'm not going to take a loss. I could close the trade, but I want to wait for the move as well. So I'll just make it a free trade. There's a good chance. If I get stopped out here, I can re-enter if it finds support at the change in state of delivery on the 5-minute. I could put it down to here. We'll put it down to there. Right below the midpoint of the wick. Is anybody else in this trade? Going long, targeting one standard deviation from our swing low. So I'm taking a one standard deviation target from this high to this low as my target, and it overlaps right here. It's a little bit higher than that, to be honest. It's actually overlapping with that first presented fair value gap. I'm just not liking how we're not expanding. It's just sitting right here. All right, Jamie. Hang flying, Ted. Well, let's see what happens here. Stop will be 100% moved to break even as soon as we run this high here. I'm hoping that we close above this fair value gap right here in 10 seconds. That would be a nice sign. There we go. Let's see if we can get an expansion to this high. When we hit this high, you can take some TP. You could take a TP, your first TP if you would like. Say maybe like 2 contracts. And then hold the remaining for up here. We got the new week opening gap low sitting at 203. So we have a new gap opening low sitting right about here. So that's one of the reasons why you may want to take some off there. Is if we hit that new week opening gap low and we reject it, we don't want it necessarily to reject it. So we'll take some off here and see if we can get another push higher. We're at 20 handles right now. This would be about 27 handles, 28, 26 handles or so. I'm going to move my stop to break even. I've seen many times aggressive drops after slow price action like this. But I've also seen where it will just do this slow move higher and then explode higher. So either way, I'm going to protect my position and not allow a loss to take place. There's that little spike. Let's see if we can get one more push for it. ES or NQ did hit it. NQ did hit that level. I'm getting ready to take TP here. First TP. I'm going to take it because ES or NQ did hit it. What we're looking at on this chart is the MNQs, but NQ did sweep that high, so that's why I took it. In case we do sell off, I want to take profit. I think I'm going to take one more. So I took another position off. I got 2 contracts left. If we survive this, honestly, actually, if we survive this, I'm going to sell 1 contract and I'm going to leave a runner to see if it wants to run all the way back to those London highs. We'd have to survive this, which I think that's a tall order. Because, I mean, just looking at the structure of this, it would be really easy for it to come down, sweep this low, and then run higher. There we go. Come on, let's close above these down close candles. There we go. That's nice. Make a higher high here. Oh, come on. So for those of you sitting here watching, thinking, you know, Tyler, you could just close this right now and you could be up, you know, another $100, or you may lose this, and then you lose that $100, and this is copied on like 5 different accounts. So that's $500 you could secure right there. Here's what I'd say to that. My primary goal is not to get that extra $100 per account. My goal is to learn, and my goal right now in this trade, I've already decided, is to learn to let the trade play out and try to reach for those bigger moves. That's my primary goal. Because if I can show myself that it's possible for these bigger moves, when I take larger size, I'll be able to take bigger contracts for bigger moves. Ultimately, that's what I want to do. I don't want to cut myself short by constantly selling at 20, 25 handles when the narrative is showing me price wants to move higher. Now, it's consequential if I get stopped out or not. I don't care. I'm hoping that I put myself in a position not to get stopped out. And if that's the case, well, then I'm going to see myself probably double my contract size. And I'll see the win and the confidence build that I can hold for bigger moves. But that's part of the game. And all of these moves, these bigger moves, do have retracements. And so I have to weather through those storms, which has always been difficult for me. And I know that as far as where I need to grow as a trader, that's one of the areas. So I've already made up my mind, and that's what I'm going to do in this trade. So that's what I want to see happen. We'll see if price actually plays out that way for me, or if it sells off and I just get stopped out at break even. Either way, this is a free trade. I've already taken 3 contracts, and I'm just going to let the other ones run. It's these moves right here that are the hardest for me, because I get scared. I end up closing the contract, and then it runs back higher. So we'll see if it stops me out or if we're able to weather the storm here. That does not look promising. Let's see if we can get a bigger green candle here. If it shrinks, then more likely I'll be stopped out. Yeah. This probably means I'm going to be swept here. Yeah, there's the sweep. Stopped out. And the trade's over. Now we could reach back down to this breaker. We could reach back down to this breaker right here. But either way, what this tells me is, like, if I was able to get a better entry, let's see, my entry would have been right here. So let's see if it if it respects this breaker or not. So no, I would have been stopped out even if I got my better entry here. But this absolutely could be a new entry. I've seen these trades play out beautifully before. But with that, we're at 11:23. We're going to call it a day here, folks. Good trading here today. Good execution on a trade. We got 25 handles. No, we didn't get full TP on that. We took partials and got stopped out at break even. But lesson learned. Target acquired, or first target acquired. So I'm grateful for that. And still pretty green on the day. We're just about $200 per account. A little under that, $180 account. So that's a little under $1,000 on the day. For a reduced contract size, I only took 5 contracts. I didn't do normal 10. So we're going to call that a day, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully it was informational. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, 9:15. Use the code DTJ if you use Apex. That's all I ask. If you don't use Apex, don't worry about it. If you do use Apex, try the code DTJ. It'll give you 80% off your next evaluation account. Other than that, thanks guys. God bless. Stay safe, and we will see you all tomorrow. Take care.